Alright, today I'm going to show you how to replace the charging port on your iPhone 5S. It's a relatively simple process. There are two pentalobe screws down here at the bottom of the phone. There will be tools and parts listed down in the video description below. So go ahead and check there if you need to buy a new charging port or if you need the toolkit for it. Lift up on your screen with a suction cup, and then I use a razor blade to slide between the screen and the frame of the phone. And I also pry up just on the frame of the screen to make sure not to bend it and damage the LCD at all. The screen is really fragile, so make sure you only bend up around those metal clasps around the outside of the screen. There's a little metal piece attached to a ribbon cable down here, so lift that off and then unattach the ribbon cable from that little clip down there at the bottom. It's similar to a Lego, so just unsnap that and then the screen will lift up. Make sure not to fold it past 90 degrees, otherwise you'll damage those ribbon cables. Take out the 4 screws that's holding down the metal plate. Lift off the plate, and then there's 3 ribbon cables here attached to the main board, so just lift off each of those 3 little cables. Similar to Legos, just unsnap them. Once again, tools and parts will be down in the video description below, so check those out. Down here there is a bracket holding down the battery connector. Take out those 2 screws, lift off the bracket, unconnect the battery, unconnect this little wire cable down here, and then unconnect the cable that goes to the charging port. There's also a little bit of glue that's holding it down as well, so just fold that back. Make sure not to kink it too much. There are 7 screws holding down the charging port, so just take off every single screw you see down there. Lift off the loudspeaker. You can see right here on the corner of the loudspeaker there's a little metal circle thing. That'll get lost really easily, so make sure you keep track of that and keep it where it's at. And then here you can see where the loudspeaker connects to the charging port cable. Right now I'm disconnecting the headphone jack and the microphone from the frame of the phone. You can just kind of slide those away from the frame of the phone, that way they won't get caught as you try to peel up the charging port from the phone. And I'll show you how to do that here in just a second. You can see I'm using a pry tool to kind of scrape away the glue down at the bottom. Try not to kink the cable too much, and also be careful where you pull on it as well, because it can rip. So just make sure you just pull it, away from the phone gently. Just keep working at it. If you need to slide your plastic tool down in there some more, you can. Just make sure not to use a metal tool and you should be fine. Lifting it up and away from the phone. There are a few little metal parts attached to the ribbon cable as well. You can see this one kind of came loose as I was lifting it off. Just set it back in place, lining up with the screws so you're ready to put it back on when the time comes. Here's the charging port itself. If there are any parts that are on your old charging port that aren't on your new one, you need to move them over, like metal brackets or even the little rubber boot down there by the microphone. Most charging ports will not come with that, so just disconnect it from your old one, and then your new charging port should have some adhesive that'll hold it in place and allow you to snap it into the phone right here on that little plastic bracket. Pretty straightforward. So now that I have the new charging port in place, I'm going to go ahead and pinch the earpiece and the microphone back into place, kind of like where they were before. I'm going to screw that part in, and then that'll leave me enough room and enough places where I can maneuver the charging port to get the loudspeaker in place. I'm going to screw that in as well just to hold it in place, and then I only have 4 screws left for the actual charging port itself. Wire cable clicks in, battery cable clicks in, charging port cable clicks in. Pretty straightforward, similar to Legos like I mentioned before. And then you can take that metal bracket and just screw that down into place as well. So like I said, pretty simple repair, not a whole lot to it. And then just getting that screen back into place, there's those 3 ribbon cable connectors right there as well. And remember, any tools or parts that you need are always going to be in the video description, so check that out. Get the metal bracket back into place with those 4 screws. And now this you're going to hate. This is the worst part, trying to get this guy to snap back in that little hole again. As long as you get it to line up, you can click it down like a little Lego, and then the metal bracket, it just wants to fly all over the place. So if you line up the back of it first in the little grooves, then you can pinch down the front. It's kind of like a little door, like a little latch that you can snap down into place. Then line up the top of the screen with the frame of the phone, and make sure it's snug, make sure it's all the way in the top, or else the rest of the phone won't snap down into place. So just run your fingers down along the sides of the phone, snap it all in, and make sure it gets in at the bottom as well. Phone turns on, everything looks good. Make sure you get those bottom 2 pentalobe screws in place and test out the charging port. Looks great. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments. Also, read the comments. Some people leave very good tips and suggestions as you're doing your project. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channels, check out my Facebook. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you around.